yes, all right then. And you'll stop and look at her and say, happy birthday, darling. And then just walk off that way, okay? DUT was something that came across my radar when it was in its first inception. I found out about it through a mutual friend who said that there was going to be a production of Jesus Christ Superstar. So I had been out of theater for about a decade at that point, focusing on my a cappella group. And I thought, well, let's get back into it so I could have some fun, because I always loved it. And when I went there to audition, I auditioned for the role of Judas, and I got it. And then about a week later, the director of the production dropped out. So they couldn't find another one, so they asked me to direct the show. I'd never done that in my life. But I had a great time doing it. I've directed many shows since. So I've been involved in DUT really since, day one, when it became a thing, yeah.
There's still a young man. There's no...
I can't leave. Never. At that point, get up from behind the desk and start walking that way. In 1991, I was 11 years old, and I had just read the book by Frances Hodgson Burnett about the Secret Garden. Fell in love with it, thought it was a wonderful story, and I could not stop talking about it, so much to the annoyance of my parents. But my father, one day he called me and he said, hey, how would you like to go see a stage production of The Secret Garden on your 12th birthday? And I was like, wow, that's amazing. So we went down to the Fox Theater in St. Louis and ate at the McDonald's on the riverboat when that was a thing, and I saw it for the first time, and that made me fall in love with musical theater. So the first CD I bought with my own money, the first CD player I bought with my own money, the first CD was the Secret Garden soundtrack, and I've loved it ever since. Been trying my hardest to get DUT to do it for quite some time, and we finally have the opportunity, so it's going to be amazing, coming full circle. Well, in 2021, I became a father, and I realized that of all the roles I have played in my life, the role I never really realized that I wanted the most was the role of being a dad. So what I did at that point was, after falling in love with the theater, I've now fallen in love with my child. And doing The Secret Garden, as evidenced by the story I just told you, I can't imagine anything ever topping that. So I feel this is the perfect time for me to step away from theater after all the roles I've played over the course of 32 years since I first started in it. This would be the one to say goodbye on. I think my story is done with, and that's not a reflection on DUT, just with theater in general, because it does take time away from other things. And I just sat and thought, if my daughter ever has an event, or if my daughter is ill, or if I have another child, and I can't be there because I have rehearsal or a show, I'm not willing to make that trade. So I would love to come back in some capacity, maybe behind the scenes or something like that, kind of a silent deal. But performance-wise, it's over. So yeah.